In the last episode, we entered a vast underground bunker complex somewhere in France. In this episode, we continue our search for a large artillery cannon that is still part of the underground fortress today. And we found much more than just that. Chapter 3. Power to the People. There's a lot of great stuff to be found in a bunker. Old workbenches. Giant water tanks. Empty. But one of the most surprising things is art. These are oil paintings. Someone painted them directly on the wall. The color is peeling off little by little. But they are still as beautiful as ever. This picture is a clear reference to the current location. We are entering a very special area.
There's a kind of a labyrinth here. To be careful.
This area was dedicated to power generation. In addition to the equipment required for that, interesting remnants can still be found here today. Like over there.
Oh, seems like copper plates. Stupid cable thieves.
But there are other interesting things in the eternal darkness down here.
That's a main generator.
It's a Sulzer 4kW22 diesel engine.
In case the power was lost, this one generated all the energy the facility needed.
That is essentially the energy needed for emergency lighting.
It's big.
Basically, it gave power to the people down here. Must have been really loud in here. The generator also had some brothers. All in all, there were 4 diesel generators, coupled to an alternator and supplemented by a small auxiliary unit. They were cooled by water. The intake was probably connected to the air filtration system.
Galerie de canalisation. What is that?
That's probably the air filtration system I just talked about. Chapter 4. A place called home. We continue our way down the darkest part of the main tunnel. At some point in the past, this place was on fire. The remaining ashes, both on the wall and in the air, devour every single ray of light. It's a gloomy, oppressive atmosphere down in this tunnel. Exploring the ruins of civilization, piecing together the story that took place here is like solving a murder case. Your brain has to combine all these different kinds of information into a big picture. That's why I like it so much.
Somebody stole the glass from the light bulbs.
More likely the wolfram or the filaments. This looks like parts of the ventilation system. Makes me think about the air quality down here.
Oh.
The barracks are the place where the soldiers lived during the war and afterwards. They ate, slept, and spent most of their free time there. It's right next to the personnel entrance. And that is our next goal. So, this is the place where high life took place. People walking around, joking, living their lives. This is the place the personnel down in this underground fortress called home. Sand is often used to extinguish fires. You can see lots of footprints in it, It's hard to say how old. My flashlight is acting up. Strange. This is something akin to a dormitory. Personnel slept here in large numbers. The metal constructions are bed frames. They were attached to the hooks you can see on the wall behind. This lovely white-tiled room had significantly role to play, especially in war times, because it is...
midday.
And this is the place where the troops' motivation was ensured. The kitchen. These are cooking pits. One of them is completely filled up with isolation material.
Ich dachte Hühnerfeder.
They actually cooked inside these.
Ja, hallo? Einmal Würstchen mit Currywurst. Ja, hallo? Einmal Pommes mit Currywurst, bitte.
And this inconspicuous room was the dining hall. After all these years, you still can see the bright, happy colors.
Best colors.
The overall picture wouldn't be complete without a look at the place where personnel entered and exited the facility. Voila! The personnel entrance. This is the long, dark tunnel that leads there. I had the impression that it's tilted slightly downwards, a wise decision, since it prevents the rest of the tunnel system from flooding. This staircase is different than the other ones. It's self-supporting, inside a very large room. I wonder if this was done for tactical or for constructional reasons. Probably both.
This is it. The entrance.
Of course it's locked. But you see, the resourceful German made it inside.
Yoo-hoo, future me, yoo-hoo.
Chapter 5. Heavy Metal. I really wonder where that goes. It may be a drainage tunnel, but why the cable support on the right side? Drop me a comment if you know more. If you carefully study a map, you may see that we now crossed from the part behind front lines to the actual front lines. This, however, can easily be seen when looking at this heavy armored door right in front of me. An airlock, or more accurately, a security lock in case the main tunnel was compromised. Oh, wait, go back.
Poste der Kommandant, Artilleriekommandantposten.
That's what we're looking for. And after another set of stairs, we found this. It's a twin mortar for indirect fire, hidden under a metal dome. Counterweights are used in order to lift the whole platform, including the cannon and the protective dome.
What a thingy.
When the gun isn't needed anymore, it is rejected back into the ground. Besides that, there were two other domes, one of them for observation. You know, you already saw them, right in the beginning. Do you remember them? But wait, that was not the cannon I promised you to see. In terms of heavy metal, this was less Metallica and more of a Smurf after-school punk band. Wait for the really big ones. Okay, we've got a traffic jam here. Sidekick says that this is a crankshaft and the whole obstacle here belonged to an engine. I wonder what kind of engine, but I never was able to find out, unfortunately.
Ich häng fest.
Like your little stepsister and the washing machine. Don't Google that, don't do it, no. Clearly something went wrong when a bad guy tried to squeeze this giant thing down that narrow tunnel. Apparently, the ride ended rather quickly. I strongly assume that a little mishap happened that led to that little mess on the floor here. Wait, I'm talking about the engine and the train, not the Nah, never mind. Shortly after, we entered another block. We found this room full of trash. Very messy, so probably storage for metal thieves. Here is someone's award-winning tin can collection. And after that, we found
Another one of these big boys. But slightly smaller.
If you look closely, you can see that they actually used wooden planks here. That's a curious contrast to all the heavy steel everything else is made of. Look at these dimensions.
Holz.
On top of this construction is a 135mm bomb launcher with about 3 to 4 kilometers range. Or for my American viewers, it fires something very long, very far away.
Alter, was sind das für Spinnen? Das sind ja gigantische Spinnen.
But still, even that cannon was more like a pre-band on an Iron Maiden memorial fan concert.
Here we are. Okay, that's good.
Believe me, what follows is much more impressive. I see something you don't.
This must be ammunition crates.
Judging by the holes, every single one contained about 50 shells.
Right here was a transport system. And there were rails. And these rails were used to transport these thingies here to a very big cannon.
Now imagine how many crates actually fit in this storage room. How many shells there were. And what damage a single shell could do. So I guess it's 100 shells, not just 50. By the way, I really hope you don't have trypophobia. This seems to be for hooking it to the rail.
Let's follow the rails.
Huh, a junction. So there were several storage rooms. Yes.
More storage.
And if you follow the rails into the other direction, you'll find...
More storage.
But wait, I'm missing an artillery cannon here. Maybe it's up that elevator here. You see, it has rails too. How big is that cannon, you may ask? Well, let me spoiler you. This was used for empty cartridges. And considering the many storage rooms below, this construction was justified. The cannon is about 3 stories high. It's the biggest one in the fortress. Apparently also in terms of ammunition consumption.
That is a counterweight.
The whole construction is very smart. The heavy cannon could be lifted by using just a small electric motor.
Another Übergeschütz.
Leverage, a concept as old as Archimedes. Someone told me that you can actually tell by the rust that the facility was abandoned not earlier than the 70s. Until then, it served the French as a possible defense line against the Soviets. Germany bypassed the line through Belgium, so the Soviets would never think of doing the same, right?
Another storage room right next to the cannon.
This is the heavy metal I was talking about. It's a 75mm cannon with 2 barrels, capable of shooting 13 shots per barrel and minute. The maximum range was 9,200 meters and 25 people were required to fire it. A hopper was used to direct the fired casings into the chute we already saw earlier. Back downstairs.
Exit on der anderen Seite?
Yup, it's the end of the shoot. Chapter 6. The Getaway. At the end of the tunnel, we found something very curious. I call it the echo chamber.
Hallo? Wer ist da? Behind you. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned.
After France surrendered, the facility was occupied by German forces and presented a point of resistance to Allied advances. But in the end, the fortress fell to the Allies and was given back to France after the war. You already know what happened afterwards. The facility itself was given up in the early 70s.
Alright, let's see what's down there. And block number 5.
Not much, I can tell you. Just some spiders.
We were here, and we missed one. Okay, let's go.
We're close to the 5-hour mark and really tired. All we hope for is an open emergency exit up top.
Too much walking. Let's teleport. No, not yet. Yeah, better. Okay. One last time. Alright. Here we are. Alter Schwede.
It's the first time that I see the bunk beds in one piece. That said, I don't want to be the one on top who had beans for dinner. Is that graffiti really from the 1940s?
Yes, the other side. I don't want to go there.
Looks like a closed up emergency exit. With everything closed up, we had to return to the start.
Alright. Let's go back to the entrance.
I kind of forgot to film this scene. Nevertheless, we fast travel back to the entrance. A quick look over the top. Then a quick exfiltration. Easy as pie.
Moment. Time to be born again.
No bad jokes this time, I have a hard time sliding out.
Sehr gut. Oh, sehr gut. Das haben wir gut gemacht. We're out again. Ready to have some pizza. Goodbye.
If you want to visit the Maginot Line by yourself, check out the Overrage Schönenburg Museum. If you want to see more bunkers, click on the left video. Or for something completely different, click on the right one. Oh shit, I totally forgot to feed the bunker ghost. Now watch another video quickly, or I'll feed you to it.